Motion carries.
Will you move the file to the public? Okay, so just so everybody knows, we're going to move the document, the agreement, to the public portion of the agenda. Mrs. Warhay has 15 copies, hard copies. We'll have them out after we do the overview. Mr. Huggins is going to come forward at this time and share an overview of exactly the key components of the agreement. Once he's done, if someone would prefer a hard copy, we have that. It will be live here momentarily on the website, on the agenda. So thank you, Mr. Huggins. Mr. Huggins is our attorney who has led us through the sale process, and obviously when people want to buy a piece of property, they want to negotiate and not negotiate in public, hence why our board was unable to continue to have public discussions about the considerations until now. So thank you, Mr. Huggins.
Thank you, Dr. O'Donnell. Good evening, everyone. As has been mentioned, there is an agreement of sale now for the Siemens property. We were asked to come and provide an overview of the terms of that agreement this evening. I think, as always, it would be good to start with just a very brief history of how we got here. Property was purchased by the district, as you can see, in 2006. The intent was to build a school campus on the site. Plans were developed, application was made for approval, and the plan was turned down by the township, and so that plan had to be abandoned. In December of 2013, an agreement of sale was entered into with the Hankin Group, a local developer here. Hankin intended to build something akin to its Eagle View project that I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with. That would have required zoning change for that development. The Hankin Group was not successful in securing zoning change for that, and ultimately that agreement was terminated. We went back out to market, and in early 2002 entered into an agreement with Carvana. Carvana terminated the agreement within the month, and we were back out to the market again in the summer of 2022. We entered into an agreement at that time with Audubon. Audubon proposed the development of an industrial facility on the site. That was under agreement for approximately a year and ultimately terminated by Audubon. In May of 2024, the district held a session where it invited members of the community to appear and make their feelings and sentiments known as to what they would like to see done with the property. That session included both a large session with everyone and then went into breakout rooms with much smaller groups so that people would have an opportunity to be heard. Following that, the district went back out to the market. The district entertained expressions of interest from over 15 developers, and the district held multiple interviews with what the district felt were the top 6 developers for the site. After that process, the Rockwell Development Group emerged as a favorite. Positives for Rockwell. They are, of course, a very substantial regional developer. They have a track record for multiple types of developments throughout the area. They also have a track record of collaboration with townships and with others that are stakeholders in connection with the ultimate development that will go on the site. Rockwell offered $64 million for the property. Rockwell offered to post in excess of $3 million of deposits with the township, which after a 60-day due diligence window will all become non-refundable. And Rockwell's plan for the property is to go into the township with not one but with two plans. This is a property that's currently zoned commercial industrial. Rockwell intends to go in to Euclid Township with a commercial industrial plan that is compliant with the existing zoning. Rockwell also plans to go into the township with an age-restricted adult residential community. That is not zoning compliant and will require zoning relief from the township. Both plans are expected to include substantial open space, and both plans will include a natatorium or a swimming pool facility that Rockwell will construct out of their own pocket. We anticipate that the cost of that's going to be somewhere around $15 million, and that will be part of either one of the projects, or of both of the projects. Rockwell will then go to work with the township, and between the two of them, they will develop the future timeline and also which path the development takes, either the by right plan or with zoning relief, the age-restricted residential plan. Next steps. Following the board's approval tonight, Rockwell enters into a 60-day due diligence window during which they will evaluate the property, conduct whatever investigations they choose to conduct in connection with the property, and will have that 60-day window during which to reach its decision whether to go forward or not to go forward. If they choose to terminate at the end of the due diligence period, they will get whatever deposit monies they've posted back, and the agreement would be terminated. Should they choose to go forward, then they will make an additional deposit. At that point in time, all deposits up to then will become non-refundable. All future deposits that are required throughout the course of the agreement will also be non-refundable. On the district side, the district is required to get court approval of the agreement of sale. We will be petitioning the Chester County Court of Common Pleas for that approval. That's a process that requires notice and a hearing by the court. Those will be scheduled by the court, and the agreement presented to the court for approval. That runs concurrently with the due diligence window for Rockwell. They are not consecutive, so we'll be going down those two paths at the same time. Following the expiration of the due diligence window, if Rockwell moves forward, they will have a 36-month approval period within which they will work with the township and all of the interested stakeholders to develop exactly which plan they are going to be moving forward with. They will have to go through the plan approval process, which will include, if it's residential, zoning relief. There will be preliminary final plan approvals that will have to be generated. They will, of course, have to deal with other administrative agencies, DEP, PennDOT, and so on. They will be bringing water, sewer, utilities to the site, through that period. In terms of the financial timeline, there's a $100,000 deposit that we get 3 days after the agreement signed. $400,000 at the end of the 60-day feasibility period. 12 months after the feasibility period, $250,000. 16 months after the preliminary plan application, there's a $1 million deposit that will be made. When they apply for final plan approval, there's a $500,000 deposit, and then 12 months after the application for final plan approval, there's a $1 million deposit. Total $3,250,000 at that point in time, all non-refundable. In addition to these timelines, the agreement contains a milestone schedule of tasks that are required to be met by Rockwell in connection with the approval process. There are timelines for getting their application submitted that run through that approval period. They, of course, will then tie back to the obligation to make these future deposits. In terms of closing, there will be 3 separate closings that will occur under the agreement. The first closing is 3 years after the expiration of the feasibility study. Going with that initial closing is payment of $28 million of the purchase price. The second closing occurs 12 months after the first. $12 million is paid at that time. Third closing, 12 months after the second, $24 million at that point in time. Total purchase price of $64 million. First money the district would see a little over 3 years from signing, and the contract should be completed in around 5 years, maybe a little bit more. Most of these dates that you're seeing are outside dates. When we say that there's a deposit that is due, for example, the $250,000, 12 months after the feasibility study period, that can be accelerated because it's also tied to an application for zoning relief if they go the residential direction. So it may not take the full 12 months, so things could be accelerated if approvals come sooner than anticipated. And in a nutshell, that's it. Are there any questions that you have?
Thanks, Roger. I don't see any.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.